Because throughout this conflict, we, the United States, have continued to send weapons to the United Arab Emirates, the UAE, who we know are arming the murderous RSF. Report after report from the United Nations, human rights organizations, and journalists have provided evidence that the UAE is doing this. In fact, Mr. President, in January of this year, the Biden administration confirmed to me directly that the UAE was providing material support to the RSF, even though the UAE had assured the United States that it wasn't and that it wouldn't. So this is not a question for debate. And in fact, if the UAE is not supplying the RSF with weapons, then they should have no concerns about this legislation. And around the same time that I heard from the Biden administration about the UAE supplying the RSF, the U.S. government concluded what is clear from plain sight, that the RSF and their allied militias are committing genocide in Darfur. According to the State Department's assessment, and I quote, "The RSF and allied militias have systematically murdered men and boys, even infants, on an ethnic basis, and deliberately targeted women and girls from certain ethnic groups for rape and other forms of brutal sexual violence." And the Trump administration has reiterated the finding by the Biden administration State Department that the RSF is engaged in genocide in Darfur. Mr. President, we are not helpless. We are not innocent bystanders in the face of these unspeakable crimes. We have leverage. We just need the political will we have, and use our influence more effectively when it comes to the UAE and its arming of the RSF. I would gladly work with my colleagues across the aisle to say that the United States should not be supplying U.S. military assistance to any country that is fueling the ongoing war and genocide. But surely we can agree that we should begin by not providing weapons to a country that is in turn fueling a genocide, what we've determined is a genocide in Darfur. And we agree that it's being committed by the RSF. Shouldn't we agree that we should at least pause the transfer of weapons to the UAE, which is fueling the genocide in Darfur? And why haven't we done that? So, Mr. President, here are the facts. The UAE is aiding and abetting a genocide in Darfur. Now, earlier this year, in the summer, Senator Murphy and I, along with colleagues, filed a joint resolution of disapproval to try to stop those weapon sales to the UAE. Mr. President, if we want to stop the ongoing horrors in Sudan, we need to begin by applying our leverage and stop the UAE from funneling weapons to the RSF.